as it used at one time was. Yeah.
As we speak of fatherhood, could you share a little bit with us about your family, your parents, your siblings, and the generations that have from your family following you?
Yeah. But my father, as I said before, my father was the head of the house, and he was able to keep everything in order. My mother was a homemaker, and I never remember a day coming home from school and my mother was not there to greet me. We don't find that today. The cost of living has gotten to the place it takes two salaries to keep a home. Our cost of living has been so raised. So the children come home, the children are controlling themselves. They come home. There's nobody there to greet them. That's one of the difficulties we have today. My father was a man that was very handy. He knew how to build, and I used to stay around him, and I learned a lot. I learned how to do a lot of things. And that has really been a big help for me during my life.
Very good. And your father's name is Dosh as well, correct?
Yeah, Dosh as
well. And your mother's name is?
Lily.
Lily. Did you have any siblings, Brother Jackson?
Yes. I have 4. I have 3. Yeah. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
And regarding your family, you've been married now for?
We've been married 71 years.
And your wife's name is?
My wife's name is Juliet.
Juliet.
Yeah.
Very good. And how many children do you have?
I have 4.
4 children?
4 children. 3 boys and 1 girl.
Right. And you mentioned you grew up in Macon, Georgia.
Yeah.
Right. From there, could you tell us a little bit about your careers?
My career? I worked at the post office for 35 years. And during my time I was at the post office, I was the first black clerk that had been appointed at the Atlanta post office in 10 years. So when I was appointed, I walked in there, everybody stopped working, turned around and looked at me. It was difficult though. It was doing segregation. I was assigned to some difficult jobs, but I did it. I was determined. And after I had been there a couple of years, they found out that I was able to do a lot because of my background. I had a business major. I was given a job in the accounting office. All right, I worked in the accounting office for a couple of years. And in 1966, they detailed me to Washington, D.C., and I worked in the Postmaster General's office in 1966. I did the budget for the Post Office Department in 1966. And they transferred me back to Atlanta. And I worked in the office I worked in the regional office. In the regional office, I was the supervisor, and I retired as the budget analyst for the post office. When I retired in 1970, I had a background in electronics. So I opened a business of my own, Jackson Electronics. I did radio and TV service. Then I did communications. I did specialized service. I did installations of televisions in homes, and I was a member of the National Association of Communication, and I was the only black in the organization for 10 years.
Wow.
Yes, it was a national organization.
Wow. Now I understand you spent some time in New York City.
Yes.
You mentioned you were there doing the crash.
Yes.
Did you also work there?
Yes, I worked there. I had a job. I was chauffeur for a German furrier. He specialized in furs, very rich man. And it was a Wall Street crash, 29. He lost $6 million that evening. And he committed suicide. He jumped in the Hudson. I lost that good job I had.
Wow.
So I got in the bread line, and we go down to follow the vines and get some food. And things got so tough, I came back to Macon, Georgia. So when I came back to Macon, that's when I organized this band. I had a band. Silas Green from New Orleans used to winter in Macon. So I hired 4 of their players to play in my band. And we paid for dances. We paid for any type of entertainment. And I came 32, that was when I went to Northeast Harvard to and when I left in 33, that's when I came to Mark Brown.
Okay. Yeah. Now, as a musician, what's your instrument of choice?
Pardon?
What is your instrument of choice?
My instrument?
Yes.
I played saxophone and violin. I played the saxophone in Morris Brown band, and I played the violin in the orchestra.
Now, I understand that you actually just refurbished your violin. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you did that all on your own, right?
Yes. The violin I have I've had it 85 years. So it's a violin. It was made in Germany. So I decided I would refurbish it. Yes.
Very good. Very good. Being from Macon, Georgia, and having the travels that you had, what was your foundation in church, and where did you attend church?
We were Christians, and we were with the AME Church, African Baptist Episcopal Church.
Mm-hmm.
During the time that our Bishop Fountain chauffeur, I would take him to all the conferences, and during that time, we would drive. We'd go to Philadelphia. We'd go to Washington. We'd drive to Chicago, And during that time, there was no highway. We had just 2-lane roads. But the American Missionaries, African American Association.
Yeah. Taking a step back and thinking about when you were born. You were born in, what's your birthday?
February 22nd, 1911.
So you are actually older than our beloved fraternity.
Yes, most certainly. I'm 9 months older.
9 months older than our fraternity. And we sit here with you this evening and would love to hear your perspective on your outlook of where the fraternity has been and your perspective of the future of the fraternity.
Well, I tell you what we have to do. We have to get a perspective of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, the ideals and essence of the fraternity, and the ideals of its founders. That's what we have got to do if we're going to formulate a perspective of where we are today and where we're going from here. That's what we're going to have to do.
How much do you feel society has played in the fraternity's matriculation through this point?
Society has played a big influence on fraternity. You know, it is now, most of these applicants we get, they think Omega Psi Phi is a social organization. Omega has socials, but it's not a social organization. They come in and make applications because they want to be a Q. But they are not not Q material. So that's one mistake we have made. We've had an influx of characters that are not Omega. They are not Omega qualified. So that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to be more selective in initiation, bringing in new, and stop bringing in the dogs.
How did, when you led the chartering of Alpha Sigma chapter at Morris Brown College, how did you go about selecting members?
How did I go about selecting members?
Recruiting.
Well, I tell you, we had what we don't have now, the Lamparters Club. You ever heard of the Lamparters Club?
Yes, sir, I have.
All right. Well, that's what we need now. That's been my contention. And when we go to the conclave this time, I'm going to insist that they bring back the Lamparters Club. If we had to go through the Lamparters, you see, when you first initiate it, when you first make application, they accept you. They give you a lamp, a little pin you wear on your coat. Mm-hmm. They don't do that now. They have initiation for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. You're a Q. You're not a Q. You don't know. You don't even know. You don't know what Omega's about.
Very fair. What was your most exciting time in fraternity? What is your fondest memory of your time in the fraternity?
My finest time was